Hello! Welcome to your first pop-up live. Carrie and I were talking at the end of last year and we wanted to do something new. We wanted to really interact with you and really reach our private community. I mean, you're here for a reason, right? Whether you're in the program or you're not, you're here for a reason. So, to kick that off, I thought, since next week is, spoiler alert, next week's challenge is all about switching one cleaning product to an all-natural alternative. Now, the easiest one I've found is the all-purpose. I do things a little bit differently. It's a very super simple, easy recipe to do. It doesn't take a lot of time to prep it, but when you see the recipes, sometimes it feels a little bit overwhelming, right? So I use these, okay? I get them when the bottle is destroyed, I buy another one. These, the kids can use. They're plastic, right? And then we have your glass. Glass is actually better for your home, for your environment, but 5-year-olds going on 6, I'd rather have the plastic BPA friendly ones so that they can help me clean and learn cleaning. But just know there's a difference between the two. So if you don't have kids, always go glass. Target and what is, hold on. What is this? I have it. I think it's called Grove. Yep, Grove. They have these really great containers and it's a little bit different now. This one's a few years old, but the bottom is rubber so you can set it down and if you hit it too hard, it won't shatter, things like that. I've only dropped it once and I held my breath. Knock on wood, I don't do it again. So here's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna make an eco-friendly cleaner. This is what's in these. Now I do at some points when life gets overwhelming, here's what I do. You ready? And especially when I have to buy one of these bottles, I found that the bottles are great and you can buy just the bottles, but when I've done that, the top doesn't work. So I just buy the Mrs. Meyer's because it's in the store, it's convenient, it's easy. I don't need to add anything else to my plate. What about you? All right, so simple, easy way that I do this is this one bottle of Mrs. Meyer's, and that's not what's in this, but the one bottle of Mrs. Meyer's, I split it into 4, okay? So when the bottle is empty, I put a quarter of it in there. Thank you, Bugaboo. Peroxide, about a quarter cup, and water. And I fill it up. Has a beautiful smell, wonderful aromatics, but it's not overpowering because it's only a portion of it. It's not the whole, it's not the full concentrate version. Why peroxide? First of all, you can use vinegar, but I found that peroxide actually works really, really well. Sanitizing, getting rid of germs on surfaces, helping you identify when there are still germs there, because if you spray peroxide on something and there's still something there, it bubbles. Now, it doesn't mean it's 100% sanitized. You will have to go back through it and do like a time spray or, you know, a bleach wash or something like that, if you are like that. However, I've never had an issue with the peroxide added into my all-purpose cleaner. Now I use these cleaners to clean the bathrooms, to clean the toilets, to clean all the surfaces. I've even used it on the carpets when Leia has had an accident. Kinsey really doesn't have them anymore, but when Leia's had an accident, she's getting older and it's showing. Every once in a while when we're gone way too long, it shows. So I've used them on that. I've never had an issue with fabric being changed, like the color of it, bleaching out or anything like that. I've never had an issue with that, with adding the peroxide into this or using the Castile soap, okay? I found this on sale last week and I was like, I have to do this video. So this is your pop-up live. You will see them weekly from here on out. Various topics. It won't always be associated with the challenge of the week. Most times it will be, but we have the podcast to pair with that so you can listen at your own convenience, get a little bit more data, information. We love science. We love myth busting. So there's usually 2 to 3 myths that we talk about and why they're so common and why they are basically total crap. and you shouldn't listen to them. So I also just finished lunch, so I have a nice filthy, crusted on surface for us to try this out on. So let's get into this. So the very first ingredient is 2 tablespoons of the Castile soap, okay? If you've watched any of our workshops, any of our cooking videos, you know I am the one that wings it. 2 tablespoons is about a 1/4 cup. So that's what we're looking for here, okay? Now when you grate this, it's like grating potatoes. And I think you could do this in the food processor. I haven't tried it because I'm afraid of getting like a nice soapy little mess. And we only need a 1/4 cup. I make this one batch at a time and you'll see why. So it's 2 tablespoons to 2 cups. Now, 2 tablespoons to 2 cups filled up both of these. So, you know, that's about right, but we're gonna do a little bit more just because I'm OCD and that's at an angle. If you want the real reason, that is the real reason. All right, there we go. This is one of those recipes you really don't have to you don't really have to measure. Now, I will tell you that if you do, you do, it's fine. Don't throw out what you don't use though, okay? Because this Castile soap, so this is, there's quite a few ingredients in this one. Let's see. Coconut, sunflower. There's a little bit of sodium, olive oil, hemp, jojoba, lavender, essential oil, which is key, a little bit of sea salt, and some vitamin E, which, you know, it's supposed to be for skin, but you know. So what Castile soap actually is it's all natural ingredients. There's nothing else in it. If you heard a lot of oils, oils are actually very cleansing. So I use castor oil and olive oil to take the makeup off my face. Most times what happens is I take all the makeup off my face and I will wipe or rinse wipe the bulk of the oil off my face, but I leave a coating on there. No, I don't have issues with acne. No, I don't have issues with anything but like wrinkles. Unless I have dairy, then no holds barred. All right, so this I chose because I like the lavender scent. It smells like clean to me. You can use plain Castile soap. You could just use it straight as is and use some dish detergent, dishwasher, or not dishwasher, but dish soap. Put 2 tablespoons of dish soap in this, same deal, okay? All natural dish soap, you would still have a really good cleaner. Same thing, 2 tablespoons to 2 cups. I'm gonna turn the water on because we need warm water for this. And sink warm works perfectly. It really does. If you're looking at essential oils that you want to add to it to really make it more of a cleansing microbial, there we go, microbial clean. I mean, it is post-2020, post-COVID, so a lot of us are still concerned about that, as we should be, okay? We are in cold flu season right now, right? So if you're interested in additional microbial cleaning, antibacterial, antiviral, then some of the scents that you should look at, and I say scents, but essential oils, they have constituents within them that are healing, that do act as microbials, they act as antivirals, and they act as antibacterials, okay? Pine, thyme, rosemary, those are some top ones. Clove, cinnamon, peppermint acts as one, but not as strongly as the others. Peppermint is an amazing essential oil to add in so that you're, like when you clean your walls, for pest control. For this, I love the lavender. It smells like clean to me. Plus, I mean, lavender is pretty relaxing around here. I have some people who are like, no, lavender is not relaxing. It is not enjoyable. It sucks. I hate it. And that's fine. The joy of essential oils is that there isn't necessarily one for everybody, but there are essential oils that act as antimicrobial, antibacterial, and antiviral, which is what you're looking for. And there's thousands. You guys, there's like, oh my gosh, I can't even, it's like either 300,000 or 500,000, but I have to look that calculation up. Regardless, there are hundreds of thousands of, like multiple hundreds of thousands of botanicals in the world. And they all have some sort of constituents within them. That's why essential oils are so popular, especially now when people are like, conventional works, but like we've lost the collaborative approach, the complementary approach between nature and natural and science, chemical, right? So just stir this up, let the soap dissolve. Now, if you're doing this with dish soap, same deal, okay? I need to let the dog out. Give me a minute. So now, if you're using essential oils, one of the things that is very important to do and to make sure you are doing correctly is this: warm and hot and heat and light, sunlight, things like that, very bright lights, those waves destroy the constituents found within essential oils. So what you want to do is you want to wait until this cools down to add the essential oils. So this is something that's really good to like mix up at night, put on your counter. Leave it on your counter for overnight, and then the next morning pour it in your jars. Put your essential oils in, no big deal, right? One thing I would do personally is I would put them in the jars. Now, if you're doing essential oil and you're using plastic, you need to mix up the essential oils here and then put them in. If you're doing glass, you can put them directly in. And a container like this, 2 to 3, is that right? No, you like without kids, you're looking at 15 to 20 drops. You could go up to 30 drops of essential oil. Makes it smell very, very, very strong. Reality, you could do 5 to 10 and you'd be just fine. Okay, you'd get the aroma, you'd get the cleaning constituents and the microbial and antiviral and antibacterial effects without such an overpowering aroma, which that's part of the reason for all this, right? Is you get these common cleaners in the world, and effectively, like the one I forbid from being inside my house, you'll learn about that inside our podcast. The podcast episode this week, we talk about that, and I talk about why. I cannot stand the smell, you guys. I can't. It makes me sick. Yes, Bada Boo? What's up?
Yeah. I can't find my tape.
Your Scotch tape? Hey, don't.
Yeah.
Is it in your classroom?
I took everywhere around the classroom.
Well, I can't help you right now, but I can help you in a minute. Okay, so see how cloudy it is? Perfect. All right, I can't find my funnel.
I found some tape.
Okay, if that works, you can take it with you. Now, you could have just put it in here, but I don't think like that. Now, with the peroxide, in this recipe, I put about a 1/4 cup of peroxide, okay? That's about a 1/4 cup, right? It acts as the sanitizer part. I mean, you've got the cleanser, you've got the constituents from the essential oils, from the cleaning products, from the Castile soap or the dish soap, whichever one you prefer. Mix it up. Here we go. Okay. Now, as it sets and as it blends, the soapy bubbles on the top are going to dissipate. So that's why I was suggesting set it to the side. If you're going to set it to the side overnight, make sure that the peroxide is the very last thing you put in, because just like essential oils, if it sits in the oxygen too long, its properties are actually going to dissipate, and the goal is a cleaning product that not only works, but helps prevent colds and flus and all the ick, right? Because, okay, now the boys aren't out here. I love my kids, but they're Petri dishes. Kids are Petri dishes. They put their hands in everything. I swear to God, you guys, if I have to say Get your finger out of your nose one more time. I think I'm gonna lose it. And you mamas, if you're still saying this at 9, please don't tell me because I don't wanna know. I don't wanna know that it takes longer than that for them to like get their finger out of their nose. But like seriously, they're putting their finger in their nose, putting their hands in their pants now. They're touching things in the dirt, which the dirt is actually, it's healthy, but still like they're touching surfaces. They're just Petri dishes. And we wanna sanitize stuff. I want to clean, but I want to sanitize too, because I don't want to be sick. Bottom line. And you don't either. All right, so we're gonna pour this in. Now, if you have a funnel, this actually works much, much better. But I cannot find my funnel, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna raw dog it. That's all there is to it. We're just gonna raw dog it. All right. Ooh.
Mommy.
That's number 1.
I made 3 with 1.
Cool.
1.
Good job. All right.
And I already made 1 too.
Good job, bud. Okay. You ready for this?
My 4th one, I can make my 4.
Okay.
I'm going.
You go do that, okay? Mommy's almost done. All right. It's a big container. All right, so remember I said it filled up those 2. It filled up those 2 containers, and we really don't have a lot left in here. So we'll probably fill up one of these. All right, come with me. Come with me. Ignore what's almost out. Here's what I want to show you. You see all that? Right there? Okay. You see? You see? You see? Let's clean it. Shall we? That's what happens during lunch. Every day. Lunch, dinner. Okay. You saw how much I spread it, right? Let's get a towel. Cleaning towel. You can do this with a paper towel too, you guys. I totally do just as well, but trying to minimize how much we use those. So, towel. All right, I got a crusty over here. I don't know what the black thing is. We're gonna see what happens. Ready? And I'm doing this because at some point, one of the people in one of my workshops, oh, just a little bit of crusty. All right, I'm gonna leave that so that you can see what's stuck. We're gonna have to come back and do that. I don't want to give you any false impressions. Oh, we got a stain on here. Okay, that's gonna need alcohol. Okay, you ready? You want to see it? See it? This little tiny piece right there. That's what I wasn't able to clean up. So we'll scrape that. That came off easy. So 3 tiny little parts that I'll come back and clean. See that right there? That's this spot. I need to come back with some alcohol. So that's it. That's how well it works. It works. The number 1 myth that we busted was that natural cleaners don't work. You're really not putting a lot inside of this. There's not chemicals inside of this. This is all natural, and it can be used on every single surface, including my hand-stained cabinets. It works so well. I clean it, and then I use just a little bit of almond oil or walnut oil to restore that dark black and really make it shine. Like, see the shiny part? Oh, it's so good when you do that. Anyway, it does a great job. If you're concerned about cabinets, if you have hand stain like I do, I was desperate. I wasn't thinking, and I cleaned it, and it turned out fine. If you're worried about it, go buy an eco-friendly product and have fun this week. Experiment. If you need help with any recipes, any oils that you have on hand, if I didn't name one that you actually have in stock, let's chat and we'll figure it out. Above and beyond all that, have fun with the challenge this week. And we will see you inside the community. Thank you for joining the very first pop-up live inside of Mind Body Reset Hub. I'll chat with you guys later. Bye.